Okay, we're gonna start. Okay, let me see who I have. Albert, can you see me and hear me all right?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah. Albert, show me your handsome face.
Is that Albert Yang?
Yeah, Albert. Okay, good. We have, hey Albert, good to see you guys. Carol, I have Richard, I have Shi, I have Nina, Lu. Okay, so we're gonna start, okay? Hopefully we'll see you guys next time in person, as we also have food here. Okay, so good. Yeah. Okay, hi everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to come to our first time home buyer seminar. And today let's actually introduce to you guys our guest speakers today. So me as a team lead, I've been working with Kelly. We have been a top 0.01% team nationwide. Even when the market is down, lots of agents are out, we're still here, booming. So yeah, Kelly, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kelly. I've worked with Lena for the past 2 years, and we have worked with numerous families to purchase and sell their homes. And today we're very excited to bring you to this first-time home buyer seminar. And hopefully we can be part of your adventure on your first-time home buying process.
Good. Yeah, these are our behind the scene team members. Ella is our marketing manager. John is our client concierge. He helps us with listing managing. And we also do have tech support who works mostly remote. Yeah, we're gonna have our guest speaker, John, to introduce to us. Hey, John.
Oh, hi, good morning, everyone. I'm so happy today can join Keller Williams, Lena's team here to introduce our company and then to provide the basic principle about how to prepare to buy the house today. So I'm your loan officer today, John Liang. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, camera back on me. So here's a brief agenda. Today, we have all the top-notch professionals in the industry. We're gonna go through all the home buying 101. Basically, it's really a educating seminar. We're gonna go cover home buying steps. We're also gonna go through, what are the typical closing costs. And then John is also gonna share with us his fabulous program, including what are the steps including in pre-approval. And then later on, we're also gonna, go through the market trend and then advice on, home buyers on when is a good time to buy. And then at the end, we're also gonna share with you guys, some off-market resources, and we're gonna have an amazing Q&A session. Okay, John is gonna kickstart by talking us through, the number one, most important, get your money ready before you go out on the market. So John, let's, we welcome you. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone again. So today I'm going to do a small mortgage workshop talking about how to prepare the mortgage and then how to prepare your financial statements to buy the house. So I believe most people would say before you came here, we know about we have a June for All program previously. But here's the update news from yesterday. Unfortunately, all the monies are running out. So, but that's not the bad news because I think the government will have another program in the future. So now today I'm going to here to introduce and help you how to prepare for next time. Okay, when you're doing the preparations, you want your financing, you want to buy the house. Previously, you have to work with the pre-approval stage. So the first one will be you have to check your income. So that's a important factor to say. That's the main factor to see how much funds you can borrow for it. So what kind of the income that you can use it? The first one, like a W-2, the basic salary. And if you have like tips, you have other bonus or overtime, we will calculate for it for average 2 years. And the other one is a capital gain. And another kind is like the retirement or pensions from maybe you're working with the government position, so you will have those incomes. The next one is a disability income. So it's long-term or short-term that we will count it as well. This is another type of the income that we can use it for your as your qualified income to buy the house. And the next one is any interest and dividends income that you can use it as well. If your service with the Army, service with the Navy, and those income we count as well. And the next one will be a part-time job, second job, and seasoning jobs. And the next one is the rental income. Even if you don't have your prime residency, but you have a rent income, you have your investment properties out of the states, then we will count it as well. The next one is the self-employed income. We call it 10099, or even we call it Schedule C, and you will report on it. Okay, next part. Some people may have an alimony or child support and separate maintenance income that will be counted as well. So we cannot have any discriminate some people who separate already. But if they say, oh, I have an extra income from the ex-husband, so we count on it as well. Next one is like the 401k. If someone who is retired, don't worry about that. If you got a 401k income or any 401k distribution from your 401k account, we will count it as the income as well. The next one is public assistance, and the next one is Social Security. So some people will ask, I'm retired and I get the social benefits from the government. Should I qualify to borrow money from it? I would say yes, because we will treat it as the income as well. The next one is SHAS income. And another one is a VA benefit. So if you are serviced with the Army and then now it's retired and we got the benefit on any retirement benefits from the veterans, well, we will see that income as well. The next one is the government retirement or annuity incomes. The last one is so important for our Bay Area because we have a lot of high-tech companies. So sometimes they will receive the restricted stock units. We call it RSU. RSU is a special income for some purchasers, and that's the important part for most of the buyers, I believe. Okay, so the restricted RSU, restricted stock units, how can we calculate that? You just show us you receive it for 1 year already, and you're going to continue to have it in the next 3 years. Then we will use it as your regular income to improve and then to enlarge your purchasing power. Okay. Oh, after the income, as a lender, we not only just check the FICO score, because on a credit report, your FICO score, it's one part of it, which that's just the number. But what we, as a lender, what we are going to see is your credit history. How many trade lines you have it? What kind of a trade lines is like? It's like a mortgage, your car loans, and how many credit cards you have. You in a student loan, that's one of the trade lines. Okay, sometimes like the regular loan, you only need like 2 trade lines for 24 months and maybe three trade lines for 12 months. That's a basic requirement. Okay, we also have the we will do a credit report for any lease payment. If you have a car loans, lease a car, so we will check it over there, and we have to make sure you have no late payments. If you have any late payments, we need an explanation about that. So before you go to see the house, try to check the credit with your lender or with your banks, and see if any problems there. For example, I saw some previous cases, some people who moved from the other state to here, they forgot the last bill from their wireless at home. So the wireless bill cannot, because they moved out already, they cannot receive the last bill, they missed that. So sometimes the company will put it as the collections. We'll read them and then tell them and say, oh, someone's trying to get in over there. Sorry. Hey, Nina, can you please help? Hey, Nina. Hey, Nina. No, it's not your turn. It's the system is someone else before. Yeah, I try to get more people here. Can I, but yes, but sorry, I'm not high-tech guy. Mouse is being weird. Inside that, yeah. Okay, there we go. How can I go back to my previous stage? I used that already, but it doesn't work. Sorry about that, everyone.
No, it is.
Like, can I go back? Yes.
Okay.
Okay, okay, what's next? Sorry about that. Oh, yeah. Before that, we will check the more details from your credit report, like the employment history, the living history. So if some like additional information regarding about some errors like SSN numbers not matching on the credit report, we're going to talk to the buyer or the borrowers to make sure all the informations are correct. Okay. Next one, we're going to see your asset because you buy the house, you need the asset on the bank statements. So what kind of asset we are accepting for buy the house? Your checking account, your savings account, your CD. CD means the certificate deposits. Your retirement account, you can use your retirement account as a down payment if you're a first-time home buyer. The next one, any investment like the stocks, options, bonds, even the cryptocurrency. Now we can see that as your asset because those are the funds. The next one is so usual for this one. Your parents will support you to buy the house, so that will be the gift. Another one is the equity. What does that mean for equity? It means if you have property already, you're going to move up to change your house, to buy the bigger one, to buy a larger one, or change locations to the school district. That's a sample. And you may have a house over there and you will have equity. You can cash it out or liquidize the funds as a down payment. Another one is a foreign asset. I know a lot of people try to invest from China, from Hong Kong, from somewhere else. They will have the foreign access. We can use that. We see that as the access as well. Okay, combine all the factors that you will see, all the relationships between those three main factors. The credit to the income, that we will see the DTI, debt to income ratio. That's a main factor to say how much funds you can borrow. Between the credits and the access, sometimes it's depending on how much reserve you may need. Between the income and the access, that's the LTV, loan to value, because your income is decided how much funds you can borrow it. And you will see how much down payment you need to buy the house, your dream house, because you don't know the price. But once you get those all three factors, you will know, how much, what is the price you can afford. Okay, based on those three factors, and all the banks, all the lenders in the United States, they will based on those three factors to create the programs. When the big banks reveal all three factors, we will see that it's calling QM, qualified mortgage. Sometimes we call it full doc programs. Check your credits, see you have a down payment, and see you have a stable jobs. But some lenders can do a little bit different. We call it non-QM programs. Only reveal two factors to 2.5 credits. Like let's go back to here to this triangle. For example, like me, I can do no income check program. That means I'm only focusing on the credit and the assets. That's a non-QM. Some banks like not some banks. So let's say another program is like a VA loan for the Navy, the Air Force, and Army. What they can do 0% down. That means what are they focusing on? They're focusing on the income and the credits. Okay, let me ask you guys some questions. What is the lender who only focusing on one factors? Do you guys know?
What are the three factors again? Credit, assets?
Who only focusing on one?
Thanks.
No, No, all the banks will focusing on 3 because you have to check everything. No, the government will be the 2.5. No, Francis, do you know? You should be know. We don't count all cash because if you're all cash, why you don't need a loan? You don't have financial need, okay? If you're all cash.
Yeah.
I can say it's a hard money. The hard money lender only need one, either credit, either asset. They never check the income. Because it's a hard money, right? Okay, those are all the factors to all the lenders. So now you know, review your documents, review your income, review your credit report. After review the bank statements, that you can decide what kind of program that you can use. Okay, you can use conventional loan, conventional mortgage. You can go to all the big banks, all the brokers, anyone. If you say, oh, I'm the Navy, choose the VA loan. That's a good choice because the VA loan doesn't require any DTI as well, no debt to income ratio because we use a residual income. And they can provide no down payment over there. And say, oh, I only has a little bit down payment, so what can I do right now? You can choose the FHA loan, 3.5% down. And say, if any government will provide any special program like previously, June for All, just one day ago, and say, oh, we have down payment assistance, then you can choose those programs. But if you say, oh, I'm working with the high-tech company with super high income, so you want a bigger house, you want to purchase a house in Arlington, you need a 10 million, that's a jumbo loan programs, okay? If you say, sorry about that, my income is not that good, but I still can support that, but I have more down payments, I want to use the fast way to buy the house. So you can choose the portfolio lending, like me, just FICO score and down payment, and that's it, okay? If you say, I want to change the house, I have a house already, I want to move to the school district, move to Fremont. So what can I do? I don't have any down payments, but it's not a problem because you can choose the bridge loan. Temporarily, 1 year to 2 years to buy the house first. And the last one is hard money. You don't have any income, you don't have credits, or even you do, but you have access for down payment, then you can choose the hard money. All the lenders are based on this triangle factors, 3 factors to design their programs. Okay.
What's the qualifying for FHA loan?
FHA loan is so easy. It's only FICO score is 580, and then 3.5% down payment. That's it. And you have a stable job, 2-year working history, and you will get it. And I can say the FHA loan is pretty much easy because they will charge the MIP, the mortgage insurance premium.
So why would anyone ever go with a conventional mortgage?
Conventional is another chance because actually conventional mortgage can do 1% down payment as well. It depends. But the conventional will charge the PMI, premium mortgage insurance. That's another charge. So you have a stronger income to support about it.
I think also, can I add one point to answer Brian's question?
Mm.
So, we have done a few FHO loans. So basically, let's say, I think you have an upper limit of how much the purchase price can be, right?
If 1%, yes, but if 3% program, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's the we're getting about the maximum loan amount.
Okay. Yeah.
So it depends on the county. So in San Francisco or San Mateo County, most of the Bay Area cities and counties, the maximum is a high balance limit.
Yeah.
1089 million.
Got it. So basically, FHA loan, give you a very quick example. I have this client, he only have 1,000 in his bank when he wants to buy a house. He's just counting on his motorbike was basically was stolen, and he's counting on the money. The police is gonna give back anyway. So he used the FHA loan. Basically, imagine if your purchase price, he actually bought over Richmond. Richmond passed by Golden Gate Bridge. I forgot exact number, but it's around 400. Let's just say hypothetically, the house value is only 500,000. Let's say the house value is 500,000. All you need is 15,000 to buy that house because all you need is 3%. But the reason people would still go to conventional, correct me if I'm wrong, because typically the lower your down payment is, then you have to pay a lot for a monthly mortgage, right? So that's why a lot of people, a lot of times, I guess past 2 years, 2020, 2021, because interest rate is so low, we literally have clients, they can afford 20%, 30%, but they only choose 5% down because they could leverage the money from the bank.
Yeah, a couple of situations people would choose the FHA, like first time home buyer, the second one is the FICO is below 6, around like 580 to 660. Because if you choose the FHA loan, that the interest rate will be a little bit better than a conventional. Yeah, because the conventional loan, the minimum requirement is 630.
Yeah.
But the rate is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. You have a lot of add-ons over there. Yeah.
So the
So-
requirement is higher and the rate is higher?
Yes, because we have add-ons. Like for example, 700 FICO score, we have a totally different with 780. Those are in the middle, those are a couple levels, 720, 740, and 760. Yeah. And the next one, beside those big factors, so the banks will have extra thinking about how to design the programs. Like for example, the seasoning of the ages means, oh, how many down payment? Sorry, what is the seasoning for your down payment? 2 months bank statement, 1 month bank statement, or 3 months bank statements. Another one is the property type. If you're purchasing the condo, maybe or you are purchasing the manufactured homes, the interest rate will be a little bit higher because the risk is higher for the all the lenders. Okay, another one is transaction time. If you're doing a cash out, you want extra money, so the bank will charge a little bit more. The next one is citizenship is so important. So because we are in the United States, a lot of people living here with different states status. You may have a color green card, you may hold your maybe citizenship of the US, you may be the asylums, you may be the foreign national students, you may be the visitors, you may be the H-1B visa working in with Meta, with Apple. So because different of the citizenship or the status, so they will have different programs for it. The other one is occupancy. Everyone knows 3 occupancies: first home, primary house, second home, and the next one is the investment. Okay, everyone only has 1 primary residency. You cannot have 2. That's the law from the government. The next one is the HOA. When you're buying a house with the HOA, you have to check with them, make sure the HOA doesn't have any litigations to block your financial, because the lenders will to think about, oh, is there any risk to buy this house because of HOA issues? Okay.
Good.
And that's
Yeah,
what I
thank
have.
you. Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you,
John.
Nina.
I hope you guys learned a lot. Thank you so much, John. We're gonna have a master Q&A session once we're done with the buying steps. And then, you guys feel free to take notes of your questions. Next, I'm going to talk with you guys, like guide you through for any first-time home buyers. What are the home buying steps? So say, you wake up in the morning and feel like I want to buy a house. How do I get started? This is so overwhelming. So what's the number one step? Number one step I always mention is actually to identify your wants and needs. We do have details for all those on Zoom. Feel free to leave me all your email addresses in the chat box. I'm happy to send this PDF version to you. And all the participants here, please feel free to grab one. We have all the detailed steps, behind those titles. So let's talk about the step one is, I want to buy a house. Then you need to dig yourself, dig a little bit deeper, discuss with your spouse or partner. Hey, what's our motivation? Like, what are our wants and needs? Wants is we have to have, let's say, we're expecting typically for first-time home buyers, big data in the Bay Area, people tend to hold homes 5 to 7 years before they actually will upgrade because it's your first home. Always keep that in mind because the reality is you're not gonna get your dream home on the first home. Typically, people, second home or even third home here in the Bay Area, you eventually get in your dream house, like with a nice yard, whatever. Like the number one is really the first thing people typically what triggers people to think about buying is I don't want to pay no more rent, just flushing down the toilets. I want to build up my equity. And then so you identify and then analyze how many bedrooms minimum do I need? What's my life goal within the next 5 years? Do we plan on having children? Then you need to have extra rooms. And if you already have for some families, they already have a baby, maybe within 5 years, they need the school district. So you want to think about bedroom counts and minimum bathroom counts. Those are the things you can't sacrifice. And then do you need a school district? And then what about commute needs? Let's say husband works in San Francisco, wife actually works in San Jose, and then your jobs may change, within 2 to 3 years. But what's a general area of your industry? Let's say, if you are in tech, most likely, in Silicon Valley. So step one, we always say, focus on your wants and needs, have a rough idea. And then later on, when we start home search, when when we start driving to the fields, and then basically when you're starting to match what you have in your pockets and what's on the market, you realize, you overthought a lot earlier, basically, because, here in the Bay Area, we always say, with your budget, we already know in which area it's possible. So step 2 is obtain a pre-approval, which John, our amazing lender, just gone through the steps. Once you have your wants, basic needs, you are just picturing in your mind, okay, I need this beautiful home with at least 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, and then location maybe around San Mateo. And then, a lot of people would start by just Googling mortgage calculator and then roughly get an idea. But actually, we definitely recommend you to go through a professional lender, just like John did, because each person's profile is so different. For a lot of immigrants like me, your status, let's say if you're under H-1B or if you're green card, that's also going to affect your interest rate, which also means it's going to affect your budget. So definitely speak to a few lenders and then get even just by talking to them over the phone, and then get an oral pre-approval, because then you actually keep that upper limit in your mind. And then this way, when we start looking at homes, you actually, it's just more efficient. You don't waste your time looking at 3 million homes when you can only just buy 2 million. So I'm gonna go through this quickly. And then once you have your budget, then the next thing is we're gonna match out with what's on the market. Imagine when you go to a car dealership, today your budget is 35 grand. Then we don't look at the 50 grand cars, right? And then the next, you will just only look at the homes within your budget. And then we start looking. So this is also step 3 is also like home search progress. This is actually the most time consuming and labor intensive. Typically, I would say for most families, it takes 1 month to 3 months for home search. Because, let's say each weekend you go out, check open houses, 3 to 5 homes, maybe each week that you like. And then after a few, let's say after 2 to 3, after a month, you can see at least 10 to 15 homes you like. Maybe among these 15 homes, you see one that you like. Okay, now you're ready to practice making an offer, which is step 4. But does that mean your offer is going to get picked? Typically, for first-time home buyers, we tend to be very conservative, which means your offer is probably not what seller wants. So, but again, every buyer goes through that process, and we actually we said that's super helpful. So you practice until you get more educated with the market. And then let's say on your second offer or third offer, finally, your offer is accepted, then we're under contract. We also formally enter the escrow. And then typically escrow period, escrow, how long escrow takes typically depends on your lender. How long does your lender, she or he needs to get all your funds approved? And typically in our market, that's 30 days, a month. And then after 30 days, we're gonna come to close. That's when you get the keys. So, what's also important with a lot of first-time home buyers, when people are planning, okay, I need to buy a house, and then how long does it take? When do I, people typically will recommend you would need to, because you need to notify your lease or, your current living situation, you need to be prepared and then count backwards how much time it's gonna take. We're gonna have Kelly Zhang to present us real quick this topic. Like when you're looking to buy a home, how much in advance you should be prepared.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kelly. I just introduced myself earlier. So we're at this part of the slide right now. It asks how long does it take to buy a home. A lot of times we get our first-time home buyers, they would ask us like, how long will it take for me to find a home? So it varies. Everyone is different. We have had clients that are able to get in contract within a month. There are some clients that it can go up to a year. So everyone is different, but we're going to talk about the steps, the steps that Lena mentioned, and also the time frame to help you minimize your time, to help you save your time. So like Lena mentioned earlier, identifying what you want and what you need will really help you minimize your time. It will help you save a lot of time. And filtering out what you don't want will, save you a lot of time on viewing homes that you're not interested in. And next, we're also going to talk about selecting an agent. We'll go into that a little bit further later. We're selecting an agent that will best represent your interests, and selecting an agent that will best represent your interests. Sorry. And then you meet with your agent and also discuss with them about how, give them your information about how you can, what you want in your house. And then also selecting a lender, like the lender that was here earlier, John, select a program that will best for your case scenario. So next, we're going to talk about the time frame. So typically for that process is 1 month. It can be shorter if you already, have everything ready, including your pre-approval. The next will be the time frame of your home search. That can be the most intensive period doing your time search. And this is also why your agent is very important. So as a lot of people said, an agent is just a person that will go to the property, drive up to the property, open a door, and then write up your contract for you. So that is not true. So we do way more than that. For example, do we have so many clients coming to us and let us know that they want to buy and sell a house, but they have worked with other agents before. They have worked with other discounted brokerage before. But at the end of the day, they don't even know what a final walkthrough is. They have no knowledge about what they signed on their contract. And also they just don't get accompanied to their appointments by their agents. So for us, we do all of that. We do all of that for you. For those agents that give you a discount, they are just agents that go by volume, and of course they're going to save a lot of time and steps. So here at our team, as your agent, we're not just on top of just showing homes. We have a tons of experience. We've seen hundreds of homes, and we have intensive construction knowledge. When we look at reports, we really know how to deal with the city, the building department, engineering, architect, and landscaping, etc. You name it, And sometimes when you see a home, you feel like you are not ready. When we see a home, we see the potentials. We can advise you on how you can make changes to your home to your dream home, to as close to your dream home as possible. So that is that is the knowledge and the potentials, because in reality, you're probably not going to see, it's probably going to be very hard for you to find a home that's going to check box all your, check box all your dream homes criteria. So yeah, when it comes to negotiation, we don't really just simply write out a contract. Every day, Lena and I have been actively on the market, and we're actively on the market. We know the market trend very well. We know the competitions. When we write offers, we often advise our clients to have incremental numbers. So then when it comes to the offer date, we will be closely watching the offer activities, and then we'll try to get the house for you at the best price possible. So of course, on top of that, we have our local agent relation with all the local agents. When they hear our name, they have the instant credibility, and that will definitely help your offer stand out. So also, we have a lot of off-market homes for other agents, for other clients, for all of our clients, which also means we'll continue to succeed our agent relationship in this market center. Yeah, so in this process, we'll also help you get familiarized with the purchase contract, which is the offer that you will put in your price and term, and turn it into the seller to see, if we can get in contract. So this process, it varies. It can be as short as a month. It can be up to 3 months, 6 months, or even up to a year. Depends on how ready you are. And next step, it will be the most exciting part, which is getting in contract, getting in escrow with the seller. So once we get ratifying is actually the most exciting part, because you're finally getting in contract with the property that you love. So we want to secure our property by putting in a 3% earnest money deposit, and then your lender will start on locking in your rates. So in terms of contingency can be different for everybody. So we can go further into that later when we get in contract, or you can come to us on the side. We can talk about that. We can educate that a little bit more on the side. So ordering home insurance, obtaining a loan, and signing off all the disclosures and all the remaining documents that's going to be after you get in contract. I often advise my clients, all my clients, to review all of the disclosures before they put in an offer, because you want to know what you're getting yourself into. So that's going to be the one step that we're going to advise. Yeah. So coming closer to closing, before you close, a few more things that we have to do. So you'll sign off all the remaining documents a few days before you close, which is the loan docs. You're going to do a final walkthrough to make sure the property is as is when you see it. So no structure change. Nothing is burned down, all the walls are still there, and the seller have removed all their personal belongings, all the stagings, to make sure you get a clean house. And then make sure you put in your down payment and all the closing costs, all the required funds into escrow, just so you're prepared to close on the closing date. Once your lender fund the money into the escrow, you guys are able to close on the same day, and then you get your key. And after closing, we always remind our clients to change their utilities, make sure your new home has water and have electricity, whatever. If you need to work from home, make sure you have internet set up to your new billing address with DMV. And then if you want to do remodel before you move in, of course, we have a big construction team that we can advise you, recommend you to. And if you need engineering, or if you need like architect, we can always give you some advice on that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you explain to us how long does each step typically take? And then like how long does each phase typically take?
So right here, we have a time frame of how long each step typically takes, but it really varies depending on each person because everyone have a different case scenario. So buying preparation, it could be as short as 2 weeks, as long as you get your pre-approval, you have all your documentations ready, and up to a month. And home search is actually the longest part because you're seeing homes and a lot of people have to work. So they're only able to see home during the weekend. So it can be up to 3 months, 6 months. Yeah, and then for the escrow, typically it's the 30 days, 30 to 35 days. And also it varies because if you're all cash buyer, it can be as short as 7 days. Yeah, closing, closing is within the escrow period. So it's within the 30 days.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
Okay. Good.
So next we're going to go over the home buying costs. Lena's gonna go over that with you guys.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. Yay. Yeah, I have a few points I really want to add here. Well, I guess I want to add here a little bit. So typically, if you're actually based on the home search, make this into the center because this is the process that takes most time. For when the market was hot during pandemic, a very low interest rate drives up the prices. I have clients literally been looking for 2 years. Every year they're waiting for the market to crash. Wait until they buy at the highest point. So anyway, let's center this. So the whole process of home buying is literally like before, during, and after, right? So before home search, during home search, and then after. And then I would say, even though it varies depending on each person's situation, but what's a minimum? Minimum is 3 months. Say, my baby is coming out in 3 months. Or, people are thinking, oh, okay, ideally, my life plan for 2023 is I want to, give myself a big birthday gift before September 1st. I want to move into my new house. So then you backtrack and then plan 6 months and then 3 months minimum, because as long as you are getting a loan, that's 1 month for the escrow and then the home search and then the buyer preparation. So typically 2 months, I would say, even for someone, because some clients, like I only showed them 3 homes, then they like one. And then I guess mostly, they trust us. Whatever number I tell them, we just write first offer ever, and then we get it. But again, that's just a few cases. Most people, like, when we go out shopping, even let's say, even for a jacket, you probably want to compare. So very, very normal psychology here. So most people will compare a few homes, 10 to 15 homes for you to get an idea. So I would say minimum, you want to definitely budget yourself 3 months. If you plan to, 3 months later, that's the time when you're going to get the key. 3 months to 6 months. And typically we actually recommend don't prolong it too much. Why? Because then you're getting exhausted. Home search, like I said, I always recommend my client just catch the momentum, get it done. Because let's say, a lot of clients, you spend 3 months very intensively dragging on your kids every weekend just to see open houses. And then you like some, but then offer each time is a little bit off. And then after 2 months, you get frustrated. Okay, Lena, we're going to put on a pause. We're going to come back to the market next year. Guess what? Next year, you have to go through the same mental process. It's really draining. And it's like an emotional roller coaster. So typically we say, get it done, 3 to 6 months, get it done. Because why? Even when you wait to next year, doesn't mean, it's a similar house types. It doesn't mean like a year later, you're going to have a fabulous for sure, because it's still a question mark. So that's that. Okay. And I think I want to sell our team a little bit, just to come down to Kelly's point. Kelly's basically is just saying, during the home search, that's also the time when we make offers, when we negotiate. That's really where your agent shows the value. And then everyone of us, including lender, you always think about what makes us different. Like why you buyers, why you should choose us. So I think, their number one point is so many times Kelly and I will make offers, we're only 5,000. One time I only have 1,000 more than the second highest bid. in a multiple offers, offer computation situation, let's say 6 offers total. You know what's the trick as a buyer's agent? Number one, you have to be the highest and best offer. But the really difficult thing is how do you actually narrow down that that gap between the second highest bid? That's the most difficult part. And I would say for any buyer's agent throughout in the whole America, what's the difficult part is, in a multiple offer situation, you have to be number one, which means, combined terms and price, you have to be number one, but you don't want to be, let's say, 100 grand higher than the second bid, because then you would feel like I overpay. So that's really your agent's job. Your agent has to know the market very well. Like I've personally seen hundreds, thousands homes. I could do, as long as I just quickly 5 minutes walk through the house, I could already know this home is gonna go fast, or oh, actually this home is not gonna sell easy. A lot of factors. You may feel like, well, Lina, a lot of times my agents know. How do you know? My clients ask me, how do you know it's not next to a train station and not next to a busy street and everything? Sometimes it's also the chemistry. Because we've been working with so many clients, so many buyers, you know what buyers are looking, what most buyers are looking. And for this house, specifically for this property, what are the buyers pool? Let's say for a duplex or for a property, let's say they don't have a backyard, typically for most families, if they have kids, good school district, most families, they would want a nice backyard. So that's what I mean by your agent has to be every day actively on the market and have a lot of knowledge and information, and then to advise you. So, to predict what's a computation level, because that's gonna directly affect how much offer you should put. My very recent deal, not recent, last year around December, right before Christmas, actually a very good friend of my best friend, she put an offer and I said, just put 1,000 more. Guess what? The second highest bid was literally just 1,000 below us. And the other reason that made me picked, because the listing agent really called me right after, is we write up very professional, clean offers. You know how many times listing agent, let's say sometimes even if the other party, they have the price is slightly higher, but they pick us because you could tell just by the offer, it's very well written, which means you're actively on the market and you're also updated with the trend. What's a new California purchase agreement? Because you want to make sure you pick a buyer's agent who know what they're doing. They can close this deal. So literally that agent just told me he picked me because, not only we are 1,000 higher, because they could easily go back to the second highest bid and say, hey, can you guys come a little bit upper and then create the overbidding? But they didn't. They just directly come with us because the offer was well written. All the check boxes, it's checked correctly, and who pays for what? Buyer or seller pays for escrow fee, whatever, no mistake. So, small things like that. Also the network. Let's say John is also an agent, and John has done deals with me before. I know Lina has a capability to close this deal. All those, like when we see homes with our clients, so many times we just bump into our coworkers or other agents who are active. So those things are not you can quantify, not something you can just simply quantify. Nowadays, I know a lot of people are here in our market, they're takers. And, agent, it's not just, okay, what's a bed numbers, bath numbers, square footage when the year is built. Everyone knows that information from website. But what do agents have that really make you stand out? It's a market knowledge. And that's going to save you maybe 30,000, 50,000. It's not just a few thousand, it's not just a few thousand stuff. So that's that part. Now we're going to talk about home buying cost, basically closing fee, because a lot of times, buyers also need to calculate what's our closing cost because let's say you buy a house for 1 million, and then in the end, you actually pay more than 1 million because there's other buying cost. Okay, so here is a standard sample closing cost sheet. So basically, before your lender funds, lender has to give you guys this disclosure with every single dollar you need to pay during the paying, before the escrow closes. So this is a sample. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys to take a look to see what are the fees you need to pay. Okay, let me walk you guys through this. Again, we do have details in the buyer's guide. So typically we have loan cost. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we have two parts. One is loan cost. You know, when you're getting a loan, most lenders will actually charge an initiation fee for your loan. And then once you get into and you have underwriting fee, application fee, and then your credit report is going to be pulled, checked. And then once we're in escrow, lender, because they're using your property as collateral, which means they have to send out an appraiser to make sure your house worth this much value. So there's appraisal fee. And then depending on if you have contingencies during the escrow, you might send out some inspectors to check the home again. And then before we close the escrow, there's going to be recording fee, there's going to be transfer fee. And then those typically in our market in Northern California, it's customs who pays for what. Typically, let's say in San Mateo County, buyer pays for escrow fees. Buyer also pays for home title insurance. Basically, when you buy a home, you have to buy an insurance against the title, which means you are having a clean title. And then again, later on when you need a notary fee, when you need a notary, it's all every service you will have, it's going to be charged. We also have this sheet, but this is also included in the home buying guide. We'll have some breakdown of what each fee this is, and then typically what's a rough range of the cost. But typically for the whole closing cost is 1 to 3% of your purchase price. So say 1 million, you probably, depending on your lender and also depending on which city that house is, and then it's going to be from 1 to 3% of purchase price. So here's this part. Next, Kelly, can you tell us real quick, basically motivates all these people to buy, why they should buy right now? Yeah.
So we're going to have a comparison chart of renting and buying. What is the benefit of being a homeowner? All right, let's see.
We're also running low on time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so let's see, zoom in a little bit. So as a homeowner, you will begin to build equities immediately instead of, you're building your landlord's equity. And second, your home value may increase. Well, it's going to increase over time for sure. But if you're a renter, your rent is going to increase over time. And home ownership, you get a tax break. So tax deduction on your interest rate and real estate tax. And that doesn't apply to when you rent a house. Also, so enjoy a stable and permanent environment. As a homeowner, stability is one of the very important things. You can choose to live in a house or you can choose to rent it out. Regardless, the property is yours. Next, we're going to talk about privacy and privacy. You can customize. It's your house. You can customize the way you want instead of if you're a renter, you're renting the house and then you have to get a permission from your landlord about if you can get approval to change it to the way you want. And last but not least, you can have babies, you can have pets if you're a homeowner, but if you're a renter, you're your landlord might not like that you're going to have 2 cats in the house. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see. Next, we're going to talk about.
Okay, what's the next slide? Oh, yeah, this is my favorite part.
Yes.
Yeah, so every single person buyer asked me, when is the best time to buy? This question is essentially, when can I buy at the lowest bottom? You know, what's my answer? I don't know, because I don't have a crystal ball. You know, even the top-notch economists from Harvard University, can they tell you, hey, in 3 months or in September 2023, that's when the market is going to be at the bottom. Essentially, that's kind of similar to stock market. You never really know. But you know what I do know? We're going to go through some simple slides. So this is a quick past trend of market since 1984, all the way to 2019. And then this is the Bay Area market cycles. So what can we see from these sheets? It's, you know, we have market goes up and down, but we actually can find something behind this chart. Number one, regardless of market goes up and down, but if you actually draw a line, on average, we're going up. Imagine there is an invisible line right here. On average, we're going up. The second thing we can find is if you find any point, let's say, you know, this is to 2019. Let's say 2008, we have a financial crisis, market dropped to the bottom. But if you actually pay attention from this point, if you draw a horizontal line, it doesn't mean it goes, even though it's a bottom is compared, it's relatively, it's compared to the highest peak of here, that means it's a bottom. But again, if you draw a horizontal line, it's still higher, even at the peak from last time. So what we mean is, you know, right now we say, since last year, April 2022, market dropped 25% to 35% overall in the whole Bay Area. But again, we're comparing to the historical highest point of April 2022. Like right now, we're still, it's not like we're back to, you know, 2010 or 2012. We're just, when we talk about it, we're talking about the last peak we're talking about. So yeah, here I actually have a past 3-year data of the specifically San Mateo single family homes since January 1st, 2020 to today, April 2023. So I have this data and I want to walk you guys through this real quick. So let's say, you know, beginning of 2020, market was normal. And then in March, see this big dip. That's because when COVID first happened, we had a lockdown since March. And the market, that's actually the best time to buy. Some of them, my buyers came out. You know, they said, what, there's opportunity in blood. But most people don't have the guts. I literally have sellers. The reason they can buy at good prices, because sellers are also panicking. Everyone was panicking. And then everyone was panicking. Most people are panicking. You know, they think the market is going to crash. And then interest rate is also low. So I would say in the recent year, that's the best time to buy. So here, market dropped. And then right at this point, if you see, that's right after June 2020, that's when the reopening, the whole Bay Area just reopened and the market went up, just booming because low interest rates, pandemic pushes everyone wants bigger spaces. And then, you know, the market was just booming. 2021 was crazy. Actually, we say insane. You know, the market is out of control. And then that's when it's out of control. That's when Fed is trying to control it. So what did they do? They started to increase the interest rate. And then, you know, right now interest rate, I would say, John, what's a rate for 30-year fixed?
As of yesterday, 30-year fixed convention was 5.875.
Oh, okay, 5.875. Recently, we just have 2 buyers. One is 6.625. The other one is 9%, but that was a special case. They're looking to refinance. So yeah, so now we're here at January 2022. You know, another thing you can find is each year there's a big jump. Okay, notice here, this is the beginning of the year, big hike, another big hike from here, beginning of 2021, another big hike from 2023, another big hike 2023, 2022. So every year after Christmas, the market always have a big hike because of so that's the hottest time of the year. It's February. I would say beginning of February all the way to mid-April, right now-ish. And then the house will close in mid-May because of the pent-up interest from last winter. You know, typically winter holidays, people are just celebrating holidays. And then every year, you can see right now, even though right now we are overall, what's the market look like right now? Overall, we are on a it's a downtrend. But in this holistic atmosphere, you know, right now, still see we have this big hike. And I just made an offer. Today it's Saturday. On Wednesday, we just made an offer, another Redwood City home, 10 offers. You know, that house has a lot. It's original condition, never been updated since 1962. And actually one of the seller's son passed away in it. And then when you go, one of the bedrooms, you see the marijuana, very small, very strong smell. But anyway, you know, my buyers were like, they find so many, you know, some people would find there's so many downsides, but again, you know, people are still bidding for it. So yeah, that's a trend. Yeah, another thing I want to point out to you guys is past 3 years, the highest point was here, which was April, around this time last year, 2022. And then if you actually pay attention from the highest last peak, this is actually the peak throughout the whole history in US market trend. Because imagine the market has been going up since 2012, and it's been over 10 years. So this is the highest point. And then to, you know, last year around winter, remember I said I just mentioned my buyer who just paid 1,000 higher than the second buyer. You know, they got it at a good time because Christmas shopping. So Christmas shopping is always a good time, but only under the condition because inventory is very low, you have to see a good home you like. So from the highest point to the lowest point, here is actually 35% deep. So, you know, market has definitely coming down, and depending on house types. Overall, this is just a graph of single family homes only in San Mateo County. And this is based on MLS, which means it's accurate, based on all the transacted home, and, you know, around 15,000 listings in the past 3 years, only for single family homes. So good. Yeah, so overall, what's our conclusion? If you're buying for a primary home, the best time is always right now if you feel the need. It's not about the interest rate. It's not about the market condition. It's about, do you need that home? Because overall, as you can tell, like I said, it might go up and down, up and down. If we continue to draw a line, I would say, you know, right now we are going down on the way, but the point is we don't know when it's going to hit the absolutely bottom. And the reality is you only know that's a bottom once you're beyond that point. So at the minute, you don't know. So from this one, you can tell in the Bay Area, because of the weather, because of this tech supported, I would say, you know, it's pretty safe. As long as you are holding it long, you're going to wait it out. So best time to buy is right now. And as we always have a phase, date the rates, but marry the house. It's all about the perfect housing. So we have some maps of the school districts. A lot of people, they, you know, a lot of, I guess for first-time home buyers, just keep in mind, if you're not able to get all the criteria like school districts, maybe the thing you can really use is elementary school. And then we also have, this is a media sale price of, as of yesterday. As of yesterday, we generated last 3 months since January 1st till right now, what's the average, not average, median sale price of single family homes? So take a quick look. For first time home buyers, obviously, affordable homes are still in East Bay. San Leandro around 800, Castro Valley 1.1. Castro Valley is popular because the school districts are very good. And then Castro Valley, even San Leandro went up a lot during COVID, but again, it all come down. Fremont, it's still affordable. And then people who want to stay where we are, San Mateo here, still around 2 million. You can go to Daly City, San Bruno, actually, some areas really have the good school districts. San Bruno, yeah. Okay, we're gonna have our Q&A session. And then we have a few off-market listings among our team. So let me quickly just go through. We have one house in San Bruno. Actually, we just determined the price. Seller wants 1.8 for this home. So this is a historic Spanish style home in San Bruno, 15 minutes walk into San Bruno downtown and BART station. 3 beds on the top. Actually, the lower bottom is the whole entire downstairs is an ensuite. 1 bedroom, 1 kitchenette, 1 living room, 1 full bath, and has another workroom. So basically, for any first-time home buyers who are thinking of, you could totally just live upstairs and rent out your downstairs for $3,000 a month. That's going to help you to pay for the mortgage substantially. And then, again, later on, when you grow your family, let's say this is a home, you could live longer, because later on, even when you have 2 kids or when your parents decide to live with you guys, it has plenty of space. So that's one home. This home is on Morningside in Millbrae, panoramic view of the bay, all the way from San Francisco Airport to Coyote Point. So if you take a look of, feel free to dig out from the red phone, you'll see the last time picture. This is the front of the house. Back of the house, like the whole wall is just glass. You don't even need to go outside to your deck. You could just see from inside your house all the panoramic view. And then this is another off-market listing. We're currently, advertising. This is literally at Belmont downtown, right next to Safeway. Very unique situation for clients who are looking for this home. If you have like one of my friends, she doesn't drive, so she has to stay where everything is within walkable distance, and it's super close to Caltrain. And then the current seller, why did they buy this in the first place a few years ago? Because she's actually a business owner, so she likes the fact it's close to everything. And then she actually she has a facial place, so her clients come to her house, and then afterward they could do everything else. Okay, so we're gonna have our Q&A session. Yeah. All the participants, feel free to unmute yourself and let us know if you have any questions. Yeah, and of course, you guys, any questions? Qiao?
Yeah, you mentioned 5.8% for the loan rate, right?
Yeah, John, that's a question for you. Come to the front.
About for the different status.